Well, Victoria's Secret model and new mother, Gisele Bündchen, says that she is a big believer in breastfeeding. So much so that she is now suggesting the law require mothers to breastfeed their babies for at least 6 months. This from a woman who reportedly only breastfed her own son for 3 weeks. Deneen Borelli is a Fox News contributor and a fellow with Project 21. Kimberly Guilfoyle is a former prosecutor and host of Cops and Cases on FoxNews.com. And Eloise Parker is an editor at OK magazine. All right, ladies, so you got to love Gisele Bündchen offering legal advice. Okay, let me start with you, Kimberly. You're the lawyer. Yeah. Legal advice. She now wants a law that says mothers, you don't have a choice. You must breastfeed your child for at least 6 months.
Well, listen, you can't have all those looks and a brain. I mean, why'd she say something so stupid?
Why? Because God is a fair God.
Right, exactly. Thank you, God. Here's the problem. It's just not practical. You don't know everybody's situation. You can't breastfeed premature babies. So for her to make a blanket statement and suggest, what, legal punishment, jail time, lock up moms and put them in silver bracelets?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean, obviously, Deneen, this ignores some physical realities for mothers. But the point is, some women in particular are, for lack of a better term, breastfeeding Nazis. And there is so much pressure on mothers, especially new mothers, first-time mothers, to breastfeed their baby at all costs, no matter how inconvenient, painful, et cetera, it is for the mom.
But a lot of things that we're talking about today really is the progressive's assault on our liberty. You're going to enforce a law for mothers to breastfeed. That is for the parents to decide and the doctor. The government should butt out. We have a busybody government going on right now. Next, what's next with this slippery slope here? But this is a dangerous precedent to set because Americans, they think we're not smart enough to make decisions for ourselves and our family.
But okay, but let me take her side, Eloise, because you got, it's clear that breastfeeding is best. Everybody agrees breast milk is best. The government's already putting its nose in our business when our children are too obese, saying you could get brought up on by child services for neglect and so on. How different is this?
Well, she's not the only celebrity who's breastfeeding, that's for sure, but she's certainly the one who's been the most verbal. And, really, it's about personal choice, and I think that's what really comes through here. The comment's been so unpopular because it's very prescriptive. It's saying you have to do this, and that's not what people want to hear.
She also made the personal choice to give birth to her son in her bathtub, which is fine for her and for many other women, but me, I'm in the hospital. Okay, let me... This.
Me too.
Now there's this Ann Taylor ad. I've got to start with Kimberly on this because you may not realize that in addition to being a brilliant anchor and lawyer, she was a model in another life, a lingerie model.
And heavily photoshopped.
Okay, so but look at the controversy.
Okay,
Ann Taylor uses this model. Here's the real version on the left, and look what they did to her on the right. Okay, she's gone from, was she so hideously fat, Kimberly, in the photo on the left, that she had to be shrunk down so that we wouldn't be horrified when we saw her?
No, it's ludicrous. And who approved this in the budget? I mean, really, in this economic crisis, you've got to put money to shrink her waist and her hips. I kept looking at both of these photos. I didn't think there was that much of a difference even between
most women would kill to look like that figure on the left.
Absolutely. Either one. Great, fine.
What about it, though, Eloise? Because people, the magazine industry in particular, they have this weird ideal that is not attainable.
You know what? Glamour sells. Now, you show me a magazine or an ad campaign that's not been airbrushed, and I'll give you $1,000. It just does not happen.
Even when you've got something like that, like I understand getting rid of the wrinkles in the jeans and the shirt, but getting rid of her waist?
Well, Ann Taylor has commented on the fact that they got caught out this time, and they said that, perhaps they did go a little too far, but, it happens all the time. They're not the only people doing this.
They have their First Amendment right, just like other publications and websites, to Photoshop to their heart's desire. But, where is this going to end? And my concern really is about young girls, because you have young girls who are developing. They have a low self-esteem, some of them, because of their weight.
Eating disorders.
And we have some schools that are issuing these BMI index, body mass index reports.
Find out whether you're a fatty fat, even if you're not a fatty fat, but now the government says you are.
It's up to the parent to regulate their diet and determine if their child is overweight or not and to do something about it.
I'm concerned not just about the little girls, but about the little boys, too. Having a little boy, I don't want him looking at that and thinking, oh, that's the ideal. That's what I need in order to have this, attractive, ideal woman, which, of course, we will make sure he doesn't believe anyway. All right, now I want to get on to this Christy Lee Cook. This is an American Idol contestant who now has got this reality show that's a hunting cooking reality show, and she has upset PETA. PETA came out and said instead of angering thousands of would-be fans by killing helpless animals on camera in an effort to get her 15 minutes of shame, she should follow the example of others and use her fame and talent to speak up for animals. Do they have a point, Deneen?
Did I mention this is an assault on liberty? It's up to her if she wants to do this program. It's going to be the viewers who decide if it's going to be a successful show or not. But PETA wants everyone to be vegetarians, and we all know that.
She apparently, no, she's not a vegetarian. She's organic, and she believes
she's
that's eating. Right. It's not the same thing. What do you make of it, Eloise? Because, I mean, do they have a point that it is sort of glamorizing hunting, which a lot of people do object to?
Well, vegetarianism's already been glamorized with, you've got Pamela Anderson and you've got Alicia Silverstone, so why not glamorize the meat eaters a little bit? I think the thing that's going to be the real kicker with this show is, will it do well? Will people watch it? Is there a market for it? The numbers will tell the story.
You never see this. You never see this, though, Kimberly, do you? You see sort of like, you do see vegetarianism and sort of celebrities getting behind that kind of a thing, but this is different. This is a young, sassy girl who's going to take out her gun and go a-hunting.
Well, and she does, but then she says she shoots meat for orphans and that, so she should be applauded.
That always softens it. I'm trying to help the orphans.
I know. When you say, I'm feeding the orphans, feed the world, how can you get upset with
But there is something jarring about it to a non-hunter. I'm an animal lover. I believe in people's right to hunt.
We both are.
But there's something jarring about seeing it, and I guess you don't have to watch it is the answer.
We'll see if they watch it. PETA's helped her get some controversy in press, and of course there's a lot of people that love to eat meat. Not everyone wants to eat lettuce cups and subsist on that all day.
I like to eat meat, but I just like to pretend that it didn't actually come from a living animal.
It's progressives pushing their agenda once again.
It's working on me, Deneen. I got to tell you, I feel bad for
steak
all
tonight.
animals. Well, I eat the steak, but I like to pretend it never lived.
But then there's the chickens and the fish. I mean, where do you draw the line?
I know. All right. I'm on one of these. I like la, 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 la.
Okay. Well, I grew up on a farm, so I've got to tell you, I think it's good to know where your food's coming from.
You've probably seen some interesting things, Eloise. Ladies, thank you.